Alex. Government name is Alejandro Javier III, but I go by Alex. That's what all my friends called me, and I figured it was just easier to say than Alejandro. So life in Fresno has always been a struggle. I know growing up myself, I had both my parents in my household, so I think I had it actually pretty easy compared to most of my friends. I feel like Fresno's always been like it's kind of like the land of the lost souls. People kind of come here to find their purpose, find a dream. We're kind of entering a new age. It's kind of interesting to see where Fresno's becoming. I grew up on the east side, Peach and Olive, so always been surrounded by gang violence my whole life. Pretty much struggle all around. We've seen it all. So nothing really surprises me. So it's really an interesting situation to be stuck in. But I know if you keep a positive mindset, you could always change at least your reality. I'm 22 from Fresno, California, and I make hip hop. It was just a transitionary period. Growing up, I used to be super fat and overweight and self-conscious about who I was as a person. So I never really talked to girls or anything like that. Never really played sports. A little bit in middle school. So going into high school is like, you see movies and stuff like that, and you have these expectations for what high school really is. So it's kind of almost like, I was kind of nervous going into it. I was kind of like, almost like, oh man, like, am I gonna fit in? Like, like typical high school stuff, but in like a hood version. It was like kind of weird. So eventually I got to high school, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I actually began to kind of make some friends, and I joined sports, and it was awesome. I actually had a really good time. Failed most of my classes, got D's and F's, but I passed somehow. And then that's where I found my second love, which is basketball. From then on, I just played basketball from all 4 years of high school. All right, so I'm not gonna say no names, but so I was pretty much a virgin all the way up until high school. Met her on Facebook, sent her a little poke. From then on, started getting that chemistry going, started hanging out, fell in love, got with her. So we're that couple now, and this is my first girlfriend at the time, first everything really, because I didn't have anything before that. And yeah, eventually just fell in love with this girl, and then I kind of just did all the cliche high school shit, which is like prom, lost my virginity to her, all that cheesy shit. So music has always been a part of my life, and honestly, as far as music go, I have to thank my dad for that. He's been the most important figure in my life as far as music taste goes. I remember when I was in the womb, he used to play Tupac and like DMX when I was a baby and stuff like that. So music has always been in my life, and it's always been hip hop. And it was 24, like pretty much whenever I was awake, starting in the morning, music was going to be played in the house when we were driving. It was always hip hop, and I just fell in love with it. I used to go in my dad's room and break into a CD collection and take all these CDs and go back with my CD player back in the day, and I'll plug in my big ass headphones that didn't even fit, and I'll just sleep and listen to hip hop. And I remember the first CD he gave me was a Too Short CD, and eventually my mom took it away like 2 weeks later. She's like, "You can't be listening to this shit. It's too fucking dirty." So I'm like, whatever. So eventually I got my hands on some Eminem CDs, and which is not much better. And yeah, I just fell in love with it and started doing my own digging. And then the internet came along, so I started doing my research on the history, like of what this music is, and like what I want to do with it, and just fell in love with it. So yeah, this was like the biggest inspiration for like writing the mixtape. Like I felt like I just needed to share my experiences, especially in high school, especially during that area. Had a friend that, a teammate actually,
he lost his life towards gang violence. So this album's kind of like about him too, and also about, you know, my experiences, pretty much the whole city. It's not anyone in general, but just a collection of stories growing up, kind of scrambled all together into one mixtape, into one project. So yeah, I'm telling my own story, but I'm telling a lot of people's at the same time. So I put a lot of work and love into this, so I hope you guys enjoy it.